The search for Oak Island's legendary treasure has pushed explorers to their absolute limits, forcing them to investigate every clue and every inch of the island. For decades, its mysteries have remained unsolved, drawing treasure hunters from across the globe. Recently, new discoveries at Smith's Cove suggested that the treasure might finally be within reach. Now, after years of digging, scanning, and analyzing every artifact, it appears that the long wait could be coming to an end. Has the fabled Oak Island treasure finally been uncovered? The latest findings are bigger and more astonishing than anyone ever imagined. Every hint, every excavation, and every moment of speculation has led to this turning point. What was hidden for centuries may now be on the verge of being revealed. Get ready to witness the moment Oak Island's greatest mystery could finally be solved. Don't miss out on these incredible discoveries. Subscribe now and continue the adventure. Deep underground, the team encounters an old, handcrafted ladder descending into a dark, water-filled passage, proving that people explored the island long before modern treasure hunters arrived. According to local legend, one more life must be lost before the curse guarding the treasure can be broken. Despite this chilling tale, the Lagina brothers and their team push forward with determination. At one point, Paul, a member of the crew, expresses his excitement about their current location as the camera shows the team preparing to drill at a new site. Marty Lagina checks in, asking if they're ready for the drilling rig, and the team responds with confident nods. As the drill bores into the earth, the secrets of the past seem ready to surface. As a new week of exploration begins, Marty explains that Dr. Spooner and Dr. Fred Michael have identified a particularly promising area based on water sample tests. Gesturing broadly, he points to the spot and recalls a previous conversation where the team discussed this breakthrough. During that talk, a light-haired man with glasses passionately shared details about the promising discovery. Tests from boreholes near the money pit suggest the treasure might lie within a small area, roughly 70 by 25 feet, west of the garden shaft. The team has named this zone the Blob. In a flashback, an expert describes how multiple objects containing specific metals were detected in this region. Dr. Spooner and Dr. Fred Michael have since narrowed this down even further, focusing on a tiny 20 by 20 foot section at depths between 80 and 120 feet. They jokingly call this new target Baby Blob. Gathered around a map, the team reviews the intriguing details of their latest research area. They suspect there may be a tunnel around 95 feet deep that could lead them to their target, or potentially set them back. The crew marks a large orange X on the ground, recognizing this could be their best chance to explore several possibilities at once. Marty keeps things simple. It's time to bring in the drilling rig. The team prepares to drill at borehole DN 11.5, hoping to uncover something valuable. Perhaps even a tunnel beneath the garden shaft, where traces of gold have already been detected. Excitement grows as they inch closer to what could be the climax of their years of effort. Months of water sampling might soon guide them to the island's legendary treasure. Marty remains hopeful they'll discover something meaningful, even if it's not the ultimate prize, but he stays grounded, careful not to get carried away. For a short time, Marty steps aside, and Oak Island historian Charles Barkhouse oversees the operation. But things take an unexpected turn once drilling begins at borehole D, N11.5. Shortly after, Marty returns with Scott Barlow, Oak Island's operations manager, and Roger Forden from Duma Contracting Limited to get a closer look at the garden shaft. The team's goal is to dig down to 80 feet, and Roger estimates they're currently around 60 feet deep. As they descend, the Duma crew clears out debris and installs waterproof wooden sections, known as sets, every 8 feet. These structures help stabilize the shaft as they search for man-made chambers or hidden artifacts. Marty feels fortunate to climb down into the garden shaft himself, where he spots an old ladder, a striking relic from the island's mysterious past. Inside the shaft, Marty is captivated by the ladder. It seems like a forgotten piece of history, likely built by earlier explorers or treasure hunters. Scott examines it closely and notes that it was crafted by hand long before modern tools existed. This simple ladder, now viewed as an artifact, sparks a discussion about the unknown person who made it, and what that individual might think of their ongoing search. An even bigger question hangs in the air. Could the builder of the ladder also have hidden a stash of gold somewhere in the shaft? It's a believable possibility, especially considering the skill required to construct such a strong ladder and position it so deep underground. The story flashes back to 3 months earlier, when the team drilled a borehole about 18 feet from the garden shaft and discovered a large empty space that might be a chamber. Now, Scott notices a similar collapse in the garden shaft at the same depth and wonders if the two areas are connected. This new development heightens the team's excitement as they continue drilling, eager to uncover more secrets buried within this legendary and puzzling island. They hope they might be on the brink of finding a hidden chamber, a tunnel, or even another shaft branching off from the famous garden shaft. Meanwhile, in the Money Pit area, historian Charles Barkhouse and geologist Terry Math stay focused on the drilling at Borehole D, N1.5. This borehole reaches depths between 80 and 120 feet, the range where treasure could be hidden. As they monitor progress, geoscientist Andy stops by to check in. Terry informs him that they're drilling between 78 and 88 feet, when suddenly a loud grinding noise echoes from the drill. The sound grows sharper, prompting the operator to halt the machine and inspect the pipe. He quickly discovers they've broken into an open space about 1.5 feet wide, indicating they've struck an unknown void underground. Terry's expression turns serious as he considers what this might mean. The operator confirms they've hit an empty pocket around 90 feet down, a potentially major discovery. Charles, Terry, and Andy gather to decide how to proceed, choosing to pause drilling until they can determine what they've encountered. Charles then calls Rick and Marty Lagina to share the news. In a separate interview, Rick expresses his excitement about the progress at borehole DN 11.5, one of their most promising sites for finding gold. He hurries to the scene to hear the update firsthand. Drill operator Mike explains how he felt the drill suddenly break through something at 90 feet, creating the void. The news brings a mix of hope and nervous anticipation. Could they have broken into a hidden treasure chamber, or did the treasure fall into the space long ago? Terry examines the map and notices that boreholes DN 11.5, DN 12.5, and DN 3.5 seem to line up, suggesting a pattern underground at around 94 feet. Mike's void at 90 feet might be the top of a tunnel, matching clues from nearby boreholes. This discovery raises hopes that they've uncovered part of a major underground structure, possibly tied to the Baby Blob area, where high levels of gold were previously detected. Still, it isn't the clear breakthrough they were hoping for. The void leaves them wondering whether they're getting closer to the treasure or simply uncovering more mystery. With these possibilities in mind, Marty instructs Mike to pull up core samples to identify exactly what they've hit, whether it's a tunnel or something else entirely. Motivated by the direction, Mike and operator Colton restart the drill to extract a core sample. Meanwhile, Rick reflects on how every void or empty space they encounter may be one more step toward their ultimate goal. The team continues piecing together the puzzle, each new clue bringing them a step closer to the treasure. As Mike lowers the drill again, Rick watches closely, hoping that the next core sample will finally provide the answers they've been searching for. When the core is brought up, Terry, Charles, and the rest of the team gather around to examine it. Right away, they spot pieces of wood in the sample, capturing everyone's attention. Could the wood come from a chest? Or perhaps it's as old as the handcrafted ladder they discovered earlier. Excitement rises as they speculate. The geologist quickly removes a wood fragment, seals it in a bag, and prepares it for testing, hoping to detect traces of metal. Later that day, the team meets at the Oak Island Interpretive Center. Waiting anxiously for the results, Craig Tester and metals expert Emma Culligan join them. Emma uses her XRF machine, capable of detecting even the faintest traces of metal within the sample. When she shares the results, she notes that only small amounts of metal were found in the wood and explains that more tests will be needed for clarity. It's not the breakthrough they hoped for, but it's a reminder of how challenging the hunt remains. As Emma goes through the data, she points out that many elements detected are commonly found on Oak Island. Still, the team listens carefully as they consider what to do next. Then, something unexpected stands out. Emma identifies a trace of gold among the elements. The discovery immediately sparks excitement. When the team asks if finding gold in wood is rare, Emma confirms that it is, making this finding especially significant. A data chart shows gold ranking 12th out of 14 detected elements, small in amount, but fitting perfectly with the team's theories about the area. This evidence strengthens their belief that they are digging in the right place, one with real potential for treasure. The tiny trace of gold lifts the team's spirits. After countless days of persistence, it feels like proof that they're moving in the right direction. Rick, always hopeful, views each small clue as a breadcrumb guiding them towards the treasure. To him, every detail, no matter how small, is part of the larger story. And this gold trace is a key part of that unfolding narrative. He reminds the team that while treasure isn't found in a laboratory, the lab helps reveal the meaning behind their discoveries. They all agree to bring Emma more samples, hoping this is just the beginning of even greater findings. But the surprises keep coming. Beyond the excitement over the gold, the team is careful to keep their work confidential, determined to protect their discoveries as they dig deeper. A recently discovered gap beneath borehole DN 11.5 sparks new theories about what might lie underground, adding even more energy to the hunt. The garden shaft quickly becomes the focal point, as evidence grows that it may hold valuable secrets. With gold appearing in both water and wood samples, Rick and Marty Lagina feel they are inching closer to the treasure they've chased for years. The episode opens with Rick and his son, Alex, stepping into a tent near the money pit, where screens and equipment are ready for another day of drilling. Brandon Vanderhoof from Duma, contracting supervisors as a massive crane, carefully lowers a drill into the garden shaft. The team keeps their eyes on the live video feed inside the shaft, waiting for a moment that could change everything. As the workday begins, the crew sets up machinery and starts the probing drills, an important step as they believe they're very close to uncovering something hidden beneath the ground. Their excitement builds as they begin drilling just outside the garden shaft, an area where recent water tests showed signs of gold. But despite the anticipation, this still isn't the breakthrough they've been hoping for. The drilling has only begun, and the mystery of Oak Island remains as deep as ever. The possibility that a chamber connected to the original money pit lies only a few feet from the garden shaft keeps the team's hopes alive. Rick continues to motivate everyone, urging them to stay positive even when progress seems slow. He believes they may be approaching a pivotal moment, one where years of effort could finally begin to pay off. Alex then shares new information with Brandon. They've encountered an empty space or void in the shaft during drilling. Brandon is taken aback, noting that the team sometimes holds on to details until they have more certainty. A flashback shows Marty discussing earlier drilling results where a 10-foot void was discovered near the garden shaft. This empty space could potentially be the location of the money pit's treasure vault, making their current work even more critical. Drilling continues as they reach a depth of 55 feet. Their plan is to drill several small boreholes that extend beyond the shaft walls, hoping to reach the suspected void below. Rick reminds everyone to report any new findings immediately. With a bit of luck, they might uncover a hidden chamber or vault today. The Duma crew prepares to push forward, using a powerful hydraulic drill capable of cutting through dense materials. Their strategy involves drilling 12 different holes at various angles to maximize their chances of discovering something man-made or valuable. But Rick is already planning the next step. He asks Brandon whether they can save wood shavings from the boreholes so they can be tested for traces of gold. With high gold readings already detected in the area, these samples could provide the next major clue in the search for Oak Island's treasure. Their upcoming discoveries might be even more significant than what they've seen so far. Charles enters the operations tent, watching the live video feed from the shaft on the monitors. The space inside the shaft is too narrow for him to join the Duma crew, so he observes everything from above. Meanwhile, Rick quickly gathers the latest water, soil, and wood samples and heads to the Oak Island Interpretive Center to deliver them to Emma Culligan for analysis. The story shifts to the next day. Rick, forestry technician Peter Romke, and team member Lier stand in Lot 26 examining what they believe is an old stone wall. Rick explains that it was Romke, drawing from his forestry experience, who first spotted the structure. As they study the wall, Romke shares that, although he specializes in trees, he has always been interested in stonework and has experience building walls himself. He points out that the outer stones tilt inward, a technique used to strengthen rubble-style walls. Romke explains that this method resembles construction used in ancient English and Scottish castles. He adds that such walls typically begin with a base of rough gravel for stability, something he also sees in the ground beneath them. This raises questions about the skill and purpose of whomever built on the island centuries ago, what structures they were creating, and what they might have been trying to hide. Rick then shifts their attention to a nearby well that looks noticeably different from others on the island. He recalls historical expert Terry DeVoe once saying, "This well's construction style dates back centuries and resembles wells found in New Ross, a town about 20 miles north." A flashback to 2016 shows the team exploring New Ross, believing it may have ties to the Knights Templar, who, according to legend, hid treasures and sacred relics. Back in Lot 26, the group discusses the possibility that the stone wall could have been deliberately constructed to conceal something, such as earlier digging or tunneling operations. The careful arrangement of the stones appears intentional, not random, suggesting an effort to hide their activities. Rick's nephew Peter jokes with Lier, challenging him to find an artifact that supports the theory. Still, despite the excitement surrounding these discoveries, much of the larger mystery remains unsolved. The following day, Charles meets Brandon Vanderhoe at the Money Pit to check on the latest drilling progress. Brandon explains that they're about to begin the final drill before moving into the next stage of constructing the shaft. But shortly after starting, the drill strikes something hard at just 11 feet. The team immediately pauses, unsure whether it's simply a rock or something far more meaningful. They collect a sample from the spot, hoping it might show signs of human activity. Unfortunately, the sample doesn't reveal anything unusual. Despite the disappointment, Charles remains optimistic and suggests that drilling deeper might expose what truly lies beneath. The next morning, the team gathers under a tent near the Money Pit to examine the latest core samples. Emma Culligan arrives with results from the first borehole tests. She demonstrates how her scanning equipment can analyze even the smallest fragments. Rick notices a piece of wood Emma has laid out and asks about it. She explains that it came from inside the garden shaft, the same wood they've been studying closely. Then, Emma delivers the real surprise. The wood contains traces of gold. The discovery supports the team's growing belief that the shaft itself may hold remnants of treasure. Excitement spreads through the group as this new evidence strengthens their confidence that they are digging in the right place. Marty, always focused on precision, asks Emma how certain she is about the results. She tells him she's very confident in her analysis. Although the amount of gold is small, the finding is still significant. Marty notes that even tiny traces, measured in parts per billion, can be meaningful. The team begins discussing their next steps, including testing additional samples such as water to confirm the discovery. Still, this wasn't the final breakthrough. Even with such encouraging news, they know they've only scratched the surface of what may be hidden below. The episode wraps up on a high note as the team laughs and celebrates the small but important progress they've made. The discovery of gold, even in tiny amounts, gives them renewed determination. They know their journey isn't over, but each new clue brings them closer to solving the Oak Island mystery and uncovering the treasure they've pursued for so many years. But what happened on Oak Island that forced everyone to evacuate? To answer that, we return to this mysterious island off the southern coast of Nova Scotia, where new insights are waiting to be uncovered. The treasure hunting team, led by the Lagina brothers, has been exploring Oak Island for nearly a decade. Viewers of The Curse of Oak Island will remember that towards the end of one season, the team stumbled upon an incredible discovery. one that convinced them more than ever that gold truly exists somewhere on the island. This revelation energized the entire crew. They had been concentrating on the original money pit, discovered by Daniel McGinnis in 1795 after he noticed a strange circular depression in the ground. With anticipation mounting, they excavated the B4C shaft, located just 5 feet from borehole C1 and roughly 90 feet deep. For nearly 2 centuries, countless treasure hunters had attempted and failed to solve the mystery. Now it was their turn. A breakthrough would come if they could locate a hidden treasure chamber or a nearby vault containing gold. Recently, their work in the C1 cluster revealed intriguing evidence, including possible man-made tunnels dating back to the 15th century. These discoveries raise questions about how people from that era could have constructed such complex structures and why they needed them. Whatever the reason, the presence of silver and gold only increases speculation about the original money pit or a treasure vault nearby. And with a 90-foot tunnel now identified, the team believes they may be closing in on the money pit itself. With some luck, the team may finally be approaching the most coveted spot on the island. During excavation, they uncovered several old wooden boards, but what truly stood out was a large iron fastener from the 1800s. Its rough, hand-forged construction suggests it was made long before the discovery of the money pit. They also found a metal spike nearby, which they plan to study further to determine its historical value. However, progress came to a halt when they encountered a blockage at 130 feet in the B4C shaft. As the season drew to a close, they were forced to suspend all money pit excavations for the year. Despite this setback, the recent discoveries only strengthened their resolve to uncover the treasure believed to be hidden somewhere on Oak Island. The intricate structure of the money pit reaffirmed their belief that only modern technology can finally crack its secrets. Finding significant traces of gold and silver beneath the island fueled their determination even more. Though the team paused operations, they grew even more committed to achieving the breakthrough treasure hunters have pursued for more than 200 years. During the downtime, the crew analyzed the metal spike with the help of blacksmithing expert Carmen Lega. He concluded that the spike dates back to medieval times and identified it as a rock drill. Using advanced methods, including C14 testing, he suspected it might be connected to a pair of swages the team found 2 years earlier, making the discovery even more compelling. Learning that this tool was once used to break apart massive boulders opened new possibilities for locating the hiding place and understanding what might be concealed within its inner chambers. Could this discovery mean they're closing in on the legendary treasure? The spike and rock drill may hold enough historical significance to be linked to the original money pit, offering valuable insight into the tools and techniques used to construct it. The hunt is far from over. With every new piece of evidence, from hidden voids to gold traces in wood samples, the mystery of Oak Island only deepens. What secrets lie just beneath the surface, waiting to be unearthed? Don't miss the next chapter of this extraordinary journey. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us as we continue digging, exploring, and pursuing the treasure that has eluded the world for centuries.